Hey everybody, it's early here just outside of Washington, D.C., but I wanted to tell you very quickly about an experience that I had this week. First thing in the morning, no makeup, a little bit foggy, because if I don't say it now, I'm going to forget, and that would just make me sad. But this experience that I had this week, I think, is pretty close to the best metaphor for coaching I've ever experienced. And it came from a sweet baby angel who is studying costume design at George Mason University. So go with me on this walk. Many of you know that my background is in theater. And of course, during the COVID pandemic, there has been no live performance. Folks have figured out ways to produce and to create in virtual spaces. And that is something that I have very reluctantly participated in because so much of my theatrical career has been on stage. And to me, that's where I perform. That's what performance is about. And so I will get back on stage eventually. The world will reopen. That's not what this video is about today. A friend of mine teaches costume design for George Mason University, and she invited a group of actors to come in and do what's called a virtual fitting with her students. So these are students who have been studying the art of costume design all year round. And as one of their group projects, they were assigned a play and they needed to create costume looks for each of the characters in the play. And then my friend brought in these actors to engage with the students in virtual fittings. So the students had the opportunity to present the looks for the characters to the actors and engage with the actors as though they were actually having, costume fittings, talks about your body. What do you like to show? What do you not like to show? How do you need to move in the play? All of those good conversations that would happen in a rehearsal space leading up to a production. And there was a young person who was presenting the look to me, and there was a lot of product placement. This character that I was virtually portraying works at Oprah magazine, so there was a lot of product placement from Oprah's favorites. There was a very specific color palette. And on the other side of this look that they presented through a PowerPoint slide was a series of succulents. And the succulents, of course, matched the color palette. That's who the student was. Towards the end of the fitting, I said to them, my hair is naturally brown, but right now I'm a bit of a pandemic unicorn. Do you envision me needing to color or style my hair differently to match your color palette? And this student said, well, succulents bloom. And it caught me off guard and it made me laugh and it brought me such joy and it made my heart like Grinchify 3 sizes bigger, because this individual, like I said, really just captured a metaphor for what coaching is so beautifully, right? You have this beautiful thing that exists with little care and little feeding and little water. You just need to pay attention to it every once in a while. And ladies, I know sometimes that's how we feel as entrepreneurs, as women in relationships. I am not a mom to small human beings, but I hear this from my mom friends as well, right? Sometimes we overlook ourselves. We don't nourish ourselves. We don't replenish ourselves because we're too busy taking care of the folks and the world around us. And this student in this moment said that a succulent can transform, a succulent can blossom, a succulent can amplify itself into something more than what it is today. And when we talk about coaching, and you hear other coaches or gurus or what have you talk about coaching, they say that coaching can transform your life. They say that coaching can support you into growing and becoming something more than you are today. To me, coaching is really helping you become your most genuine self, your fullest self, your truest self, your most colorful self, your blossoming, succulent self. And so when I say choose you and I say coaching can support you in transforming your life, I don't mean it's going to transform you into a different person. I mean, it's going to transform you into who you are at your core, that sometimes we just don't spend the time to nourish on our own. Sometimes we need that external accountability, the external push, the external tough love to help us blossom. February is almost over. I hope that you are staying warm, that you are staying healthy, and I look forward to engaging with you next month in March when we all start to bloom. Be well. Oh, and you're pretty badass.